Hello and welcome to the Carnegie Report. It is May 2020. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Lior Samuel.
Good to have you back on the show. Good
Thanks,
to see
Gary.
you, Lior. And good to know there's stuff still going on. Of course, the question everybody wants to know is, have prices gone down or have they suffered, or what's changed with this new COVID-19 situation?
Look,
What are you thinking?
It's been very interesting times, as we know, uncharted waters, as we like to call it. But
Yep.
look, for us as an agency, we've been busy with a lot of things going on. But in terms of pricing, it's funny, there's a bit of a fear out there, as we all know. But in terms of pricing, there's actually a lack of listings coming up. But
Yep.
there are buyers have an appetite for property, and we're still transacting, and that's a good thing.
There seems to be a lot of activity still. As terrible as COVID is, it's not so terrible that it seems to be dulling or actually killing the market off in areas like Carnegie and Murrumbeena, where we're still thriving, we're getting lots of inquiries, we're still making sales, we're still getting listings. Why is that?
I think also our pockets, a lot of people with their pre-approvals and they're wanting to buy property. And look, they saw, the last few years, Gary, when the market came back and the people that sort of missed out on buying, they got in. And a lot of people have the mindset that property is a long-term thing. And look, bottom line is when you buy a property, you're going to pay around 5% in stamp duty anyway. So
Yep.
a lot of people are getting in. Interest rates are at record lows. And look, if they've got secure jobs and they're still wanting to buy, well, share market's being volatile, they're definitely jumping into property in the areas especially that we cover.
Yeah, no question about it. It's been interesting to see that people are jumping in. And one thing we know about Melbourne now, which is different to how it used to be. Sydney was very volatile. It sort of went up a lot, then went down a bit, and went up a lot. But I think Melbourne now is a place where things are changing quickly. It was a very conservative part of Australia. It was the business centre of Australia always, but we tend to find that things went slowly up, gradually up, sort of almost always up. But now I feel like when the market changed in October, November, it changed really quickly, came back really hard. Prices were up like 10% like that. I remember we talked about this on our sister program, GPTV, about did the market just go up 10%, and people were sort of laughing or thinking we were ridiculed for it, but it really did. And I'm just wondering that I feel like there's a lot of people still with jobs, with money, with finance approval that are going to jump back in as soon as they feel it's right to do it, and prices will move again. At some stage they're going to move again.
And to add to that, Gary, as well, a lot of buyers are getting in because they're feeling there's less competition out there.
Yeah.
So if they see value, they're paying it, and things have come off the boil marginally, and they're getting in because, as I said before, if they've got secure jobs, they know money's cheap, they're in it for the long haul. They're tending to go for it.
I mean, man, if you were a buyer a month ago, 6 weeks ago, call it, you were standing at an auction with getting belted around with, 4 or 5 bidders. Now we're seeing, whether they go to auction or ultimately and they're Zoom auctions or virtual auctions, or whether they're able to be bought beforehand, you've got a much better position as a buyer. So I guess for some buyers, don't blow it, because at some stage the market is going to recover. You can bank on it going down lower, but then if it goes down lower, the stock levels will be just minuscule. So you might find, okay, the prices went down 5%, maybe even 10%, but I wasn't able to buy the home of my dreams or the property that I wanted to, or the opportunity that I was seeking. So I guess there's a reason to move.
I think the interesting test as well for us is that when the light at the end of the tunnel with more open for inspections and auction reignite, I think also for the benefit of buyers that are going in now, the whole less competition. As agents, we have to stagger appointments, but if the floodgate opens and we can get buyers through the open for inspections, there'll be a bit more momentum. Buyers going through and momentum, and I think they'll definitely help.
People who tune in the show, no doubt, don't want to just see our pretty smiling faces, Leo. They want to know what's going on in the marketplace, in the world of real estate. And there are sales that have happened and are happening. And let's review some of the sales, just run through, we won't go through all of them because it'll take too long, but I know there was a property in Ormond that was sold very well, and that was in Mullane Street. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, Philip auctioned that one. That was a great listing of Jack Slater from The Office, and that was a crazy auction with 5 bidders going for this one. Reserve was around the 1.2 mark. We ended up selling it for $1,475,000. Great outcome and a beautiful home.
Good for people to know what things are selling for. Fraser Street, Ormond, fantastic. Another property that was really popular.
Yeah. Parallel street behind Mullane Street that we just spoke about. An hour later, we auctioned this one. Also sold under the hammer, sold for $1,420,000. A good blank canvas for the lucky buyer.
And who bought it?
The vendor from Mullane Street.
So how's that for a story? We sell a property An hour earlier, an hour later, the person that sold it went and bought the other home. That's a really good story. 17 Acacia Street in Carnegie, another popular property.
So 17 Acacia Street was an interesting one because we had a ton of people coming through. It was literally one of those, the last auction weekend, Gary, before they said no more on-site auctions.
Yep.
So I called this one with Jack, and you know what? The buyer that bought it had been on our books for a while, looking at many things. Knew that there's going to be a amount of less competition for this one, but not much coming up over the next month or two, and definitely right about that. Competed for this one, ended up selling for $1,475,000. Sorry, $1,275,500, and that literally went, just about $150,000 over reserve, but it was a pretty special property as well.
Turner Avenue, Glenhuntly, another one with 5 bidders. Interesting auction.
It was an interesting auction, Gary, because we call that auction at the new residential collections office where we're filming now. Philip strated his stuff through the relevant spacing requirements in the room we're in now.
Space, yeah.
And went really well. We had 5 bidders competing for this single level home. Sold really, really well. $1,221,000.
So one thing that's happened in COVID is we've learnt a lot of things. It's been fascinating. Firstly, we've learnt that the rooms that we're in now, this NRC or New Residential Collections Office, which has been used very much for off the plan and new stuff, is the most incredible auction room. I mean, we've called auctions here, every one of them sold. We called them in, of course, the week before the ban. And they were just went off the charts, and it was such a good centre. So no doubt we'll be doing more auctions here. But not only that, we've had our first ever in-office auction in the Carnegie office it was a Shepperson Avenue property.
So a day later, with all the auctions booked up for this room for that evening, there's only so many you can do. I ended up calling this auction at the Carnegie office. It was a bit of a boardroom auction, but not really boardroom. It was actually out front of reception and spaced out. Like, we've got plenty of room there. 3 bidders went for this 1-bedroom apartment, sold really well, 20 over reserve, $380,000.
It's a very intimate auction, wasn't it?
Very.
Now, talking about intimate auctions, we not only have them in our office and in the NRC Centre, but we also have them on site. And of course, one of our last, possibly our last auction on site was at night with the possums in the trees. Doing we don't know what, but it sounded like inappropriate behaviour. Definitely not proper spacing there. Definitely not the right amount of what are we calling it? The spacing.
Space requirements.
Space requirements. Yeah, social
but it
distancing.
Was interesting.
Those possums, they weren't social distancing at all. They were very.
So we thought, where do we do it, Gary? 6:30. I did the Shepperson auction in the boardroom that I just mentioned before. 8 o'clock we had scheduled for this one in Waddletree Road, and I thought, do we do it in the common area? But unfortunately, it wasn't lit up. So the back area, we did it in the car park. And yes, the possums were busy running on a fence, carrying each other back to back, as they say.
Yes.
And it was pretty good, I must say. 3 bidders went for this one, and a great apartment sold to a lovely family, $610,000.
Well, the possums didn't put them off. In fact, to the contrary, they might have added value to the buyer experience, I'm not sure. Mimosa Road, Carnegie, sold prior for $740,000. An interesting and good result. So did Dunoon, sold prior, and so did Wall Street, sold prior. The results are on the screen there as well. So that's a little bit about what's been going on with sales. So you can at least tap in to know what the prices are in and around the Carnegie area, Malvern East area as well. Malvern East has been very good for us, hasn't it, actually, right across Dandenong Road. And that brings us to our new listings. We've got some beauties, and one of them here is the Tranmere Avenue Glenhuntly listing, and that one has been very interesting, very popular. Do you want to tell us through a little bit about it?
Yeah, Gary, a nice solid brick 2-bedroom apartment there. If you're looking for something close to all the action of Koonang Road and public transport, plenty of parklands as well nearby, check out this first home or investment opportunity.
And of course, if we're talking about the Anzac Day period that we're in, or Anzac Week, we have a property in Anzac Street.
It's a great time to launch this one, being Anzac Day only a few days ago. Lovely, fully renovated 1-bedroom apartment. This one here, if you're wanting something as a buyer that it's fully renovated, don't have to spend a cent, check this one out as a first-time opportunity and also a great investment.
Rosebery Grove, Glenhuntly.
Rosebery Grove, close to all the action that Glenhuntly has to offer. Another fabulous renovated 2-bedroom ground floor apartment near Buran Reserve, Glenhuntly train station and the tram at the end of the street.
I know that David Thompson's excited about this property in Dandenong Road.
Dandenong Road, we've got a near new 2-bedroom apartment. It's a great floor plan. I love the fact that it's got a balcony with beautiful sort of trees and a sort of leafy outlook. That's a special apartment as well.
Great looking home. You're directly involved in this one in Poth Road, Hughesdale.
Now, 210 Poth Road, Hughesdale is a pretty special home owned by a great client of ours who's called this one home for many years, but unfortunately they're moving on. because they live in New Zealand. It's time for them to say goodbye to this home, but it's a pretty special home. We've managed it for them for the last few years, but if you want to see the mix between the old and the new, check out this fabulous family home.
That one's choice, Brew. Choice.
Yeah, choice, bro.
We've got the home in Oakley Road, Carnegie. This is a fantastic looking unit. I know Sally and the team are excited about this one. She's involved in the sale. Take us through it.
Single level villa units, a very popular choice in the Carnegie market. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathroom, fabulous accommodation in terms of space. Single level homes, you've got to love them.
We have a holy space in Willesden Road, Hughesdale. It is a holy home, all right. This is the most wonderful looking property, this converted church in Willesden Road, Hughesdale. What a great looking home. I walked right past the door as I did my walk, Leo, from Caulfield through to Oakley, which is a fantastic walk under the sky rail there. Beautiful walk, people riding, loving it.
Good
take us through this property. What a great looking home.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you'll be blessed buying this one with this church conversion. Fabulous space as well. In terms of accommodation, if you're looking for something with a bit of character, this one's definitely got it. It's got plenty of accommodation. It's got a swimming pool as well. But close to all the action that Hughesdale has to offer as well.
Certainly nifty to live in Neville Street in Carnegie. Great looking property here as well.
Well, Neville, you're a big fan of the Underbelly series with Neville Bartos, Gary. You know you'd love it.
Yeah,
Neville
Bartos,
Bartos, yep.
Didn't go too well for him, if I remember right.
That's exactly right. But Neville Street, Carnegie, great family home there. Great in terms of family accommodation. It's got the swimming pool and a beautiful pocket of Carnegie. If you didn't know, Neville Street is nestled between Grange and Kunang Road.
As we
Check
say
that
in the
one out.
theme of men's names, we get to cross from Neville Street to Elliott Avenue. Another great looking property. What a fantastic development.
Yeah, so this is a fabulous 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment. It's only about 2 to 3 years old. If you're looking for something that's literally got all the bells and whistles of luxury in terms of apartment living, check out this apartment at 101 at 3 to 9 Elliott Avenue, Carnegie.
Grange Road, great looking home, another one.
Yeah, Grange Road is also a great apartment as well, close to all the action in terms of what Ormond has to offer, near the public transport routes of the buses, trams and trains. But yeah, modern living at its best, Gary.
We finish off with Kunang Road. What a great looking property.
So Kunang Road, this villa unit's quite special as well because it's got the second bathroom nestled at the back. It's got the Kunang Road address, but it's nestled at the rear of the subdivision there of only 6. Fabulous courtyard, but the second bathroom's very appealing as well.
When I did my big discovery walk, I stopped in and around Carnegie and Murrumbeena, looked at what's going on there in the cafes and restaurants and shops, and even though you can't go and sit down somewhere, it is still bustling and happening, and you've got that incredible fish and chip shop just near the corner of Kunang Road. That's
Costa
Kunang Road.
And Nick run the show there.
What an unbelievably fantastic institution that is, but there is so much going on. It just looks to me like Carnegie is going to continue to be more and more popular, and more people are going to want to move into that fantastic pocket. Am I right in thinking that?
Look, 100%. I'm a big fan of the area, hence we opened up here on a permanent basis all those years ago, but we love Kunang Road, Carnegie. I love the fact that you've got schools, public transport, the shops, and easy access on major roads to take you into the CBD and surrounds.
Got time to slip one more in? Do we talk about this one?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Nearham Road, Carnegie, great looking home.
So yeah, that's also a good one. That apartment 3, it's 2 bedroom on the ground floor with a second bathroom. If you're looking something modern with good space, one of the better apartments on the market at the moment, I must say.
That's a bit of a wrap on the old Carnegie report, Leo. There's so much going on, so much happening. So many great performers you've got in your office as well. The team seem to be doing really well, which is fantastic. Of course, Leo's got the most wonderful team. You've got his brother Aviv there, you've got Jack Slater there, Mo Hafez is there, you've got Graham Callan, who's an institution, and of course you've got Dan Dyson, and who could forget David Thompson, who's been in Carnegie a lot longer than we have, and knows Carnegie Murrumbeena like the back of his hand. A fantastic opportunity.
And they're all doing so well for the times. But look, if you want to talk real estate anytime with the Carnegie crew of Murrumbeena, please feel free to contact us anytime. We're all available for a chat and love to help you next.
And the great salespeople are just where it starts. We've got some fantastic support people and an outstanding property management team run by Anthony Lee, who also is somewhat of an institution in the area, much like David Thompson. So that's what's going on in the Carnegie and Surrounds report. It's good to be able to be here, bring you the news. Homes are still open, listings are still coming through, sales are still being made. We are still working hard through this difficult period. We wish you all a safe and healthy passage through this journey of this difficult time, But we are looking forward to business as usual, which it isn't right now, but it will be soon, and bring you all the news on the Carnegie Report. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leo Samuel. Have a fantastic week.